with his own intro.
Oh, we're doing it now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This whole thing?
Yeah, go ahead, go for it, go.
Joining us now is a natural-born entertainer, showman and global singing superstar. Since hitting the big time with Take That in the 90s, his solo successes have sold over 70 million, smashed world records and played some of the biggest venues ever. Here to bring some heavy entertainment to our show, it's Robbie Williams.
That was Virgin on Mr. Burns, wasn't it?
Well, I think
Can you do a Mr. Burns? Can you drop it into Mr. Burns?
Mr. Burns. Can you do
Mr. Burns?
Okay, yeah, you do.
Yeah, I like the S's.
Okay.
Joining us now is a natural-born entertainer, showman and global singing superstar.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All sounds better in your own ears than other people's.
What's the best impression that you do? Is that it?
No, I can do Johnny Vegas really well.
You can. Go on then. Let's hear it.
Your intro, Johnny Vegas.
Johnny Vegas.
Joining us now is a natural-born entertainer, showman and global singing superstar. Singing hit in the big time with Take That in the 90s. Solo successes have sold over 70 million. He's brilliant.
Wow. That's really good.
Okay. Come on, you good stuff?
Do you know I haven't got one?
Oh,
because,
yes, you have.
Listen, the only one I've got is Frank Spencer. And I haven't done it since like 1987.
There's the intro again.
Joining us now is a natural-born entertainer, showman and global singing superstar. He's just done a whoopsie in the waiting room. Do you know, it's an impression that hasn't been aired since literally 1987. I've got to get some impressions. Impressions have just died. Yeah, nobody's doing impressions anymore.
You're right, by the way. And there's not enough impressionist shows on the telly.
Yeah, we should do something about that.
Now, Robbie is back with a new single and a brand new album and a live gig, this sort of surprise live gig last Sunday night that had brilliant reviews from such lofty publications as The Guardian, 4 stars, The Daily Telegraph, 5 stars. 1 week into being back on the front line, Robbie, how's it been for you?
It's been great. There's the sort of like a big sense of he's back. That's great. We've missed him. So it doesn't always happen that way with an album. But this album in particular, I've done the show that I did for the people that I did it for, and there was I get 5 out of 5 and 4 out of 5. In one publication, it was 4 out of 5, but for me, that's a 6 out of 5.
So the 5 out of 5 from the Telegraph must have been like a 10 out of 5.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so far. I always think of things in football terms. We've won the first leg 3-0, and with the second leg still to play.
But was the first leg at home or away?
I think at home.
No, I think it was away because I think your goals will count for 2 because the reviews were so good.
Yeah.
Should it end up as a draw?
Well, either which way, the show went really well. The crowd was awesome. The reviews were great. It's good to be back. Feels good.
Give us an insight into what it's like for the week building up to re-entry into show business. So we last heard from you sort of properly, substantially 3 years ago-ish. And let's not get caught up on the absolute details. And then for the week before this show in Camden at the Roundhouse, just take us through that. You know, is it the first thing you think about every morning when you wake up? Is it something you worry about? Is it a juggernaut coming towards you? And then the last 24 hours and finally the last hour before getting on stage?
I'm neurotic. My brain idles at neuroses and worry and panic. And the run-up to this album and that gig has taken 3 years. And I've written 75 plus songs for this album. So every time I've been into the studio, it's been under the heavy weight of, you're coming back, you're doing an album, this better be a hit, you're 42, you're fat, your eyes are droopy, you've got a big 11 above your eyes, you better go and sort that out. This isn't a hit. Oh, you've just said the wrong word. Is that chorus big enough? No, it isn't. Go and write a bigger chorus. Come on, fatty. And so it's not just like the week build-up to the Apple gig that I did. It's the 18 months before that where you're in the studio every day going, no, don't be a has-been, don't be a has-been. And that's where my brain idles at. But it propels me forward. It's an uncomfortable place to be. But here I am, still doing this, 42-year-old, still in the pop charts, hopefully, fingers crossed. So you said, what's the build-up like? It's been a stressful 18 months. trying to not be a fat pop star.
Right, so it's 18 months. It's not just the week beforehand, which I totally get. And I was got one of my questions here that I've written down. So does it get any easier? I'm sort of sensing it may get less easy.
Well, look, I have my wife that I'm deeply in love with and deeply in like with, and I have my children that are the world, the universe to me, and everything makes more sense because it's a job. Before the kids and the wife, it wasn't a job. I don't know what it was.
It was your life.
It was sort of like, fix me. If I do this well enough, then I'll be loved. And it was a sort of trying to fill in all the blanks that were in the soul. And that didn't make sense. I got to the top of the mountain and it was like, ow, I'm still in pain. Then the wife came, then the kids came, and now it's a job, and now it all makes sense. So does it get easier? In many ways it does, because souls are depending on me. My wife's depending on me. My children are depending on me. And I haven't got the excuse to fall off the rails, to maybe not turn up to this interview or watch what I'm saying. You know, it focuses the mind, and it's a blessing. So does it get easy? In many ways. And in other ways, no, I'm still a neurotic.
I think failure gets less important, but you still put the pressure on you. If not even more pressure, because you're more aware and you're more present to understand, how big a task it is, perhaps.
Well, I'm still very, very ambitious, and I'm 42. And I know I keep saying that because it's prevalent and on my mind.
But also the average age to the listener of the show is 51, so you're still a youngster.
Oh, really? Oh.
You're still a whippersnapper. So
hi, guys.
You've got to stop banging on about
My name's Robbie Williams. Yeah. Pleased to meet you. I was in a band called Take That.
Would you like some Skittles?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I've looked at the track listing on the album. We played your new single earlier on this week. And I've got to say, what I like about your songs is they always say something. It's often to do with show business, but you don't just write about things that you might think people might sing along to and therefore buy. And the single track whose title struck me, jumped out from the track listing last night when I was reading through everything, was the one that we've been given to play. And I love this, Party Like a Russian. Okay, I was going to ask you about it,
okay,
but I'm going to play it first now because I didn't know we were going to get to play this, but I just love the title, Party Like a Russian.
Okay.
Here we go. Robbie Williams, 18 minutes past 8, BBC Radio 2, Friday morning.
Party like a Russian, disco seduction. Party like a Russian, oh, Elvin like an oligarch.
Well, I do like that. Party Like
Thank
a
you.
Russian, Robbie Williams. That's great, isn't it? Isn't that a really good tune? That's
Nodding
so clever.
heads. Thank you very much.
Very clever song, that. Lots going on in there in just 3 minutes. Party Like a Russian, loving this. Says Susan, age 56.
Oh, wow. News just in,
Happy
straight
with
away.
that? Just
Oh,
straight
okay.
away. I've got loads of these.
Thanks.
You, Robbie, loving this. Thank the Lord, Robbie's back. Music needs you in its life. And also, Robbie, Britain needs you. We do need you every couple of years. 3 years is about the limit for us, okay? If you'd have left it any longer, we'd be coming over to you.
Well, it's good to be back. I am here, and so far, so good. Won the first leg 3-0.
But I think 4-0 after that. That's brilliant, isn't it? That's a good song. It's a big old thing that going on, isn't it?
Thanks very much.
Party Like a Russian. So, not all Russians, obviously, just the rich ones, I would imagine.
No, listen, it's the spirit of the hedonism
I know.
and the partying that the Russians do over there. They're very good at it.
Okay, so you could have once been said to have partied like a Russian. You were ahead of the game. Maybe you could have taught the Russians a few things.
Yes, and now I would just have to show them videos of my past.
So what do you do, right? I mean, I know you've got your contentment is everything, and contentment beats happiness hands down every second of every day because it's more sustainable and it's ever present. But if you do want to let your hair down, Robbie, how do you do that nowadays?
I watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You think I'm joking, but I'm not.
No, I know you're not joking.
I watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, The Real Housewives of New York, The Real Housewives of Orange County. I watch the Miami one too. It's all reality TV shows, and people talk about guilty pleasures, and this is my guilt. No, this is actually what I do. This is the level of my intellect. This is where I am. That's what I watch.
I know that's sort of your daily fodder, as it were, from the trough of life. But what if you had a party at the Williams' house? You're throwing a party.
Yeah.
What are we going to get?
Quizzes. quizzes. There'll be like pub quiz, seriously, and you're more than welcome to come round.
Okay.
There'll be like the Rizzler game on the forehead,
Yeah.
whose name is in the bag, and it will be a proper quiz evening, and that's the party now. Everybody else gets drunk. I just watch them do it, and
Oh, so
then.
you don't mind, so people can still have a...
Oh yeah, no, of course.
So the fridge is still full.
Absolutely, there's booze at my house. Come round.
Right, now you look very well. You just said to us you're paranoid about being a fat pop star at the grand old age of 42, which is not old. And by the way, we're only going to get older, and one day you will rue the time you were 42 and say, oh my goodness me, what was I worried about? But of course, I know for a fact, because I've known you for years now, you will have been on the pre-promo diet and fitness regime. When did that kick in, and how much effect has that had, because you look swell?
Oh, well, thank you very much.
As opposed to swollen.
Yeah, well, months ago I went on this diet and it worked, but it's kind of extreme, and I lost like 7 pounds within 5 days, and I was in those clothes that are in the wardrobe that have been in there for a while, that you're like, one day I'll be back in you.
Yes.
And then I was there, and I was in them, and the diet's extreme, and then 7 days in, I woke up one morning and I thought, that's odd. There's a Polaroid image in my head of me with some grapes in some peanut butter. That's strange, because that didn't happen. And then the second day I woke up and I went to the loo, and there's like crumbs in the bath. It's like, that's weird. Third night, I found myself full on. I woke up, I'm at the fridge, and I've been night eating. I was night eating every night, and I put 9 pounds on in the middle of the night without knowing.
You're supposed to lose weight, aren't you, during your sleep? That's
Yeah.
what, apparently that's the main time when you lose, you lose weight.
And the night eating continues. But
well, there
that
you go.
being said, I have been taking care of myself. I'm carbless, sugarless, funless,
No, you're not.
happyless.
No, you're not.
No. It's all good. I'm in those clothes that I used to be in the 90s.
All right, and you brought the sunshine with you this morning. So can you please introduce our next guest as Frank Spencer or Mr. Burns or anything you like? Don't really mind.
Our next guest is a brilliant British actor, renowned for his work on the big screen in Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy, The Imitation Game, and Zero Dark 30. Now the Olivier Award winner is set to return to the stage at the National Theatre next month in the psychological thriller The Red Barn. It's the magnificent Mark Strong.
Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. What an amazing introduction.
Good, isn't he?
I'm very proud of that. I mean, thank you so much.
Morning, mate.
Morning.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for, Mark.
You are listening to the Chris Evans Breakfast Show on BBC Radio 2.
All right, so Mark Strong. In Mark Strong, we have a man who doesn't do
Oh, doesn't it?
October tomorrow, guys. Just
Welcome, October.
I
Do you know what? I can't help it, but in my head I'm singing, you think you're Mark Strong, you're wrong. It's just going over. I've just got to get that out there.
you have
Sorry.
to stop that
Go
right
on, Mark
now.
Strong.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, Mark, in this new play, and by the way, Mark is a tour de the Shies. That was great. That's a very Williams-esque hey in there. Do you enjoy that?
That song just made me really happy. Thanks for that.
It was brilliant,
Love
wasn't
the
it?
haze too.
Okay, The Shies new album, My Universe, is out today. That song is on this new album. The title track from that album, My Universe, will be played in a moment or two. They also have a very special cover to play.
We sure do.
Not going to give it away.
Okay. Oh, really? I would like to say it because I think people are going to cancel their next hour to listen to
Give it away then.
All right. They're gonna go for it, and this is brave. They're going to go for Angels in front of you.
Oh, wow.
How about
Okay,
that?
cool. Let's do
Yeah.
No,
this.
by the way, no joining in, no ruining it.
Oh, please.
Okay. Robbie Williams is with us this morning. Robbie's brand new single, Party Like a Russian. We heard it just a moment or two ago. We should play it again because it's, honestly, not just because you're here, it is an absolute belter. His 12th album, The Heavy Entertainment Show, is released on the 4th of November. Van Morrison played live in concert for us last night. He's promoting his 36th album.
Wow.
Can you see that, in your crystal ball?
Those guys back in the day, they used to release like 4 albums a year. So
what they did.
I could see how the numbers would get up there. In my crystal ball, yes, I'd love to be being interviewed by you, sat at this part
Okay.
of the desk
That bit may not
on my
happen.
36th album.
That would be
Let's see.
fun. But you see, if you've written 75 songs for this last album, which you say you have, I mean, they're all there. And I know that a Williams project, from a sort of commercial point of view, it has to be an event. I mean, that's the deal, isn't it? You know, you go away for a couple of years, like making a movie almost, as opposed to making an album. Then you come back and it's a big launch, the Apple launch on Sunday, and then you're doing all this big promo, and then the album's out, it's in time for Christmas, and then there'll be a big tour. But you could have a little run, couldn't you, for 4 years, where you go old school and you release something more often, and that might be fun for a while.
Well, I think people would just get sick of you. If you did it every year, I think people would just go, oh no, him again. I think they're doing that now, and it's been 3 years, but...
You're wrong.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But I think if you did it every year, people would get bored. As Take That's manager said when we were kids,
You have to go away and cause a vacuum. So I've been off and I've caused a vacuum.
And he knew what
that
he
was
was
a
talking
really
about.
bad impression of him.
Doesn't matter.
I know you think that was a brilliant impression of him, but it was bad. I've been away causing a vacuum.
All right. So it's slightly Johnny Vegas. Can you stay away from my Johnny Vegas there?
sorry.
Slightly breathy Johnny Vegas. Who am I talking about? Robbie, it's over to you.
Adding some order to this morning's mayhem is a real formidable force. Since her days as a journalist, she's taken over Tea Time TV with the weakest link and championed the consumer corner on Watchdog. Here to tell us about her next big thing, it's the awesome Anne Robinson!
Biggest round of applause of the morning.
That's what I call it, is are you a good enough mother? Are you a good enough father?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Out of 10.
Out of 10 for love, 10.
Helping round the house.
Helping round the house, don't have to, but it's sort of it's like a roller coaster. One day I'm a 10 out of 10 father, then the next day I'm a 6 out of 10 father. But if I round it up, I'm at a solid 8. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
But what you do, Anne, is you get questions from our guests to our guests, all right, now? Robbie, ask a question of someone. Who would you like to choose to ask a question to?
Michael, were you in Ant-Man?
I was an Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Did you just do the Google search?
No, I saw it on the plane twice.
Ah, did you really?
Yeah, I like
Oh, wow,
you.
that's amazing.
I don't know about Ant-Man. Can you educate
Ant-Man's
us?
really good.
All I know about you is that you're like a wild man, but I think you've tapered down a bit.
Yeah, I tapered down a bit, yeah.
Michael, where do you live?
I live in a couple states in America.
Couple of states. Is one
Is
of
it
them
a big
Los Angeles?
house
I
then?
might move if Trump wins, though. I gotta
Is
be
one of them
honest.
Southern California?
Yes.
Okay, well, Robbie lives there as well, and I think
Oh, brilliant.
Whereabouts
will
in
get
Are you in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I'm like me and the wife here. We're building a house in Atwater. You know where that is?
No, where's that?
Well, I'll probably want to keep it secret.
Yeah.
just give us
Somewhere
the
in
zip
Los
code and
Angeles.
leave
We
it.
come
sorry.
round.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Not
Is it a big
Whenever you
house?
want strong, you can come by.
Where's the other state that you live in?
Chicago and Florida, maybe.
Wow.
There's too much state tax in California. There's
Yeah.
like
So
13
how long are you allowed to stay in California for?
less than 6 months.
Oh, really? Okay, it's a
Yeah.
full 6 months. That's good.
Yeah.
And
It's not that much, 'cause I'm
are
like,
you
I do film.
registered to Florida?
I will be.
Yeah.
I think
Does
this
that
is
mean?
getting boring
does
now.
that, no, it's not. No. It might be boring for you, but it's interesting for me. So it's
It's a bit boring.
So you
It
go.
is a bit
So you're a guy from Florida.
It is a little bit boring.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're
go
like
is
this.
boring.
I'm not a guy from Florida.
Okay,
Got
I'll
the
ask you
biggest-
after.
I don't
Radio
like,
audience in
no,
Europe.
oddly enough, when you ask, you're
Oh,
like,
we
are
have.
you a guy
That's
from
okay,
Florida?
you don't have to answer.
It makes me
you
think
don't
like,
have to answer.
I don't have bodies buried in Florida. You know what I mean?
Mark, can you ask a question that can reboot the show, please?
Shall I ask of Robbie those sweeping Prokofiev strings in the track? Is that it's the March of the Capulets?
Prokofiev.
It's the theme tune to The Apprentice. That's
No, it's not. It's a beautiful piece of
Yeah,
music. Was that?
it's Prokofiev, and I only know that because you've just said it.
Said it.
I don't believe that for a
Can
second.
I ask
true.
Robbie?
Did you put it in? Did you? Was that
Yes.
your choice?
Yes.
Do you work with somebody when you make a track? I mean, I don't really know
Mr.
about
Guy
making.
Chambers, do you know Guy Chambers? As me and Guy wrote the first 5 albums together. We're working back together.
Then you had a
again.
fight.
Yeah, we did. We had a falling out.
How long did that last for?
10 years.
Who
maybe.
made the first? Who made the first phone call? Who held out the olive
Yeah.
branch?
I held out the olive branch.
Okay, how long was it?
Well, the olive branch
Yes.
was really, really short, and my fist was on the other end. But no, I love Guy. He's my spiritual brother, and so I write the songs with Guy Chambers. Yeah.
Right.
Right, and you want to ask someone a
Who's
question?
your hero?
Who's my hero? My wife right now. And I know
It's
it's
a very
sloppy and
clever
cheesy.
answer.
Well, it
No,
used to be
it's
his mum,
cool.
which was an even cleverer answer.
yeah, but
His
she
wife
is.
used to be his mum.
Yeah.
What? Hang on, I missed.
Hero.
His hero. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Who's your musical hero?
Who's my musical?
Frank Sinatra.
The Beatles, Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Chuck D.
Good question.
Yeah.
Prince at all?
Prince. He's a god. Yeah,
How about
of
you,
course.
Anne? Who's do you
Yeah.
have a
Who's
hero
your
or
musical?
I'm
heroine?
from
or-
Liverpool.
Yeah.
So-
There's a lot
yeah.
of heroes come from Liverpool.
It's got to be the Beatles.
Yeah.
Do you have a writing hero? Because you've been very big in the newspaper industry. You've been a brilliant columnist, and I wish you'd have another regular column every week that I could look forward to reading. Who's your writing hero?
Scott Fitzgerald.
Wow, there you go. There's an answer.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good.
Very good. And the level of
Who
journalism...
did he play for?
You should know who he played for.
Everton, right?
Great Gatsby.
Oh, okay.
He played for
Great Gatsby United.
Right.
Right, do you want to ask a question, Michael, to someone?
Yeah, like I'm terribly interested. I'm like in America, it's like a huge deal. It's almost like too much of a deal.
If you got to the question.
Wow.
Just hold your pants, lady girl. You know what I mean? She's over there. I'm over here. Hold on.
Hold your pants, lady girl.
Hold your pants,
National
lady
treasure
girl.
here.
Yeah, but she still has to hold her pants. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I was like, everyone's equal in
Okay,
front
the
of a.
question,
in
the
front
answer,
of a,
the question.
One
We've got a
second.
minute to go. Go on.
Okay, cool. What do you guys think of the Ryder Cup? And seriously,
That's not what you were going to ask, is it?
I changed it mid form.
That's a fun question.
You were going to ask about AA, weren't you?
Well, we've
No,
won
no,
it.
no, not
We've
at all.
won it 3 times in a row.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, we've won it.
No,
3
in America, it's like a big deal. It's a
No,
big deal
it's
because
a
I'm
big
like,
deal. It's a big deal over here too. We've won it 3 times in a row. It's getting a bit boring now. America needs to win. It does. It seriously does. You know, America needs to win it so we can come back and win it again the next time.
because on paper, like we should really win it. You know, every time we have like, I think 6 out of the top, the top 10.
Yeah.
Golfers, and for some reason,
But we've got the Masters
Europeans-
champion.
Because
we've
you-
got the Olympic champion.
Yeah.
We've got the something else champion. We're,
You know
we're
who's
good.
married
We're
got the
to
strong.
a
runner-up.
golfing champion?
Oh, really? There's something special. Like, you guys come together.
Because you have
and,
a team of individuals, and that's never going to work.
But it fascinates me. I'm always really surprised where like for some reason we just don't come together, and then like. You see the locker room, you see everyone else, and they come together so much. They're drinking champagne, they're drinking a couple pints,
Tequila.
and,
Good old-fashioned British tea.
maybe not tequila, but like there's a lot of Guinness going around. I got to be honest.
Okay, great questions. Right, let's have another live.
And these guys, it's been a real treat.
Feels like you got new friends here today.
Spending the morning with you, it's a beautiful way to start the day.
All right. Could you hang out with this guy, Robbie? Mark
Yeah,
Strong?
of course. I'm beguiled with Mark Strong. I'm just.
So am I.
I've got his profile here. When he's talking into the mic, I don't know what he's saying, but I'm just looking at the lovely profile and being beguiled by it.
All right, and thank you for your presence here. I'm loving this little niche you're carving for yourself back on the TV with you just going and finding out things that you're interested in. I love that.
Yeah, and it's on 8 o'clock on Thursday. It starts, which is the same time as Mark's play.
Yeah, we're going to do all that in a minute, Anne. All right, we're going to do all
No,
that.
I just thought
Leave
I'd
the
mention it.
housekeeping to me. Okay. First of all, we'll say our proper thanks. Here we go. So let's say thank you to Robbie Williams, everybody. Come on. Mark, what is Robbie up to?
Robbie's brand new single, Party Like a Russian, is out today. Go buy it. His 12th album, The Heavy Entertainment Show, is released on the 4th of November, and it's amazing.
Okay, thank you to Mark Strong, who's been here today. And what is Mark up to?
Mark plays Donald Dodd in the National Theatre production of The Red Barn at the Littleton Theatre from the 6th of October to the 17th of January. Good
Okay,
run.
Thank you so much. And Anne has been here next to her brand new friend. Michael, what is that up to, please?
Ed Robinson's Britain starts next Thursday, the 6th of October on BBC One at 8 p.m.
Thank you very much indeed. And also with us this morning, Michael Pena. Superb. Michael Pena, we love your work, Michael. What's Michael up to? The Shires, please.
Michael's latest film, War on Everyone, is released next Friday on the 7th of October.
Excellent. Good luck with that, Michael. You're always welcome, by the way. On the air or off the air, cup of tea, tequila. Don't mind, all right?
You guys got the best tea.
We'll sort you out. Okay, and the people who've worked hardest this morning, biggest round of applause, please, for the Shire! What are they up to?
The Shire's new album, My Universe, is out today. They begin their winter tour on the 15th of November in Dublin.
Well done, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Have a lovely weekend. Good luck with all the stuff you're up
Well
to.
done, Chris.
Thank you.
And the Shires are going to play us out now with Robbie Williams' Angels. Robbie, obviously, it's your song. I'm sure they won't mind if you join in.
No, zero pressure.
Right. on who? Who's the pressure on most, would
I
you
think
say?
it's like 50-50.
Okay.
No, 60-40.
Okay, this is an
Sing
angel.
it.
When angels fight, I like this. All right, off you go. The Shires, everybody.
Through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection. Whether I'm right or wrong, tell me what to fall. Wherever it may take me, I know that love won't break me. But when I come to call, she won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead.
Wow.
What do you think, Rob?
Yeah. It's too good. It's genuinely too good.
All right, that was basic.
That was awesome.
Okay, let's hear it for the Shires again, please, if you don't mind. And by the way, for all the listeners.